Welcome everyone to our presentation on Arthropoda, the essential phylum. We will explore the vast and fascinating world of Arthropoda, an incredible group of animals that play an essential role in our ecosystems. From Insecta, the largest class of Arthropoda, to the smallest species of Arthropoda, we will cover the characteristics and importance of this important phylum. Let's begin. Arthropoda is one of the most successful and diverse groups of animals on Earth, with over 1 million known species. This group includes insects, crustaceans, arachnids, and myriapods, all of which have a chitinous exoskeleton, jointed appendages, striated muscle, and a hemocoel. This distinguishes them from other animals, allowing them to inhabit a wide array of habitats throughout the world. Arthropoda is a phylum of animals that possess an external skeleton made of chitin, jointed limbs and striated muscles. The taxonomic classes under this phylum include Insecta, which is the largest class. These animals go through a process of tagmatization, which is the segmentation and specialization of the body into certain regions with specialized purposes such as jointed legs. Arthropoda is an exceptionally prolific phylum, comprising over 1 million species across the globe. The foremost class in this phylum is Insecta. These animals boast characteristics such as chitinous exoskeleton, jointed appendages, striated muscles, and a hemocoel. Arthropods possess a bilateral symmetry, triploblastic body plan, metamerically segmented bodies and schizocoelomate anatomy. These creatures inhabit a wealth of terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems, and their numbers are highly contingent on local conditions. Remarkably, of all the species that have been officially named, over two-thirds belong to the Arthropoda family, accounting for 80% of the total animal species. Arthropods are a very diverse class of animals, with a unique feature of a chitinous exoskeleton. This tough outer shell helps protect them from predators as well as preventing water loss. In a process known as molting or ecdysis, they can shed and replace this exoskeleton, allowing the arthropods to grow. Their body is segmented, composed of a head, thorax, and abdomen, and jointed appendages. Arthropods possess a distinctive musculature structure and anatomical features, including a hemocoelic body cavity. Their muscles are also striated, allowing them to move rapidly and with precision. Additionally, their coelom is only located in the spaces around their reproductive and excretory organs, which is derived from their blastocoel during their embryonic development. This characteristic is exclusive to arthropods and cannot be found in any other organism. Arthropods have a variety of respiratory organs, such as gills, book lungs, and tracheae. They have an open type of circulatory system, meaning that the hemolymph, the fluid responsible for carrying oxygen, does not contain any vessels to transport it. The heart is usually located in a dorsal position near the center of the arthropod's body. In some species, the hemolymph also contains a copper pigment, referred to as hemocyanin. All of these characteristics combine to make the Arthropoda phylum an incredibly diverse and unique group of organisms. Arthropods have various excretory organs, such as Malpighian tubules, green glands, and coxal glands, used for excretion. Their nervous system is of annelidan type, composed of a nerve ring around the esophagus and a double ventral nerve cord, and they have several sensory organs, such as antennae, compound and simple eyes, and statocysts, for navigation assistance. Arthropods have a reproductive system that differs from other phyla. Diescoc is the form of sexual reproduction, where male and female sexes are distinguished. Internal fertilization is typically seen and the majority of species are oviparous, laying eggs as young. Development is generally achieved through one or more larval stages before metamorphosis occurs, facilitating adaptation during growth. Arthropods are extremely varied, from common insects to living fossils such as Limulus. The Insecta class is the largest, including widely known animals like Paraplanida, Polemon, Cancer, Palomnius, and Arania. These species have a huge economic, medical, and environmental influence. Apis, bombyx, and Caria are economically significant insects, while Anopheles, Culex, and Aedes are transmitters of numerous common illnesses. Some gregarious insects like Locusta can be threatening, and Limulus is a living fossil that has stayed the same for millions of years. Arthropoda is the largest and most diverse animal phylum, boasting a range of unique characteristics. Its members are characterized by their hard outer exoskeleton made of chitin, jointed appendages, striated muscles, and a body with a hemocoel cavity filled with fluid. This incredibly successful phylum includes Insecta, the most populous class, as well as other invertebrates, and has been evolving for millions of years, continuing to thrive. Arthropoda is a phylum in the Animalia kingdom, split into 3 subphyla, each with 4 respective classes. Xiphosaura contains horseshoe crabs, Arachnida encompasses spiders, scorpions, mites, and ticks, Crustacea is home to lobsters, crabs, prawns, and shrimp, Chilopoda comprises centipedes, and Diplopoda is made up of millipedes. Insecta is the largest class and includes bees, flies, beetles, ants, and wasps. Subphylum Trilobita are extinct marine arthropods, characterized by having numerous and similar biramous appendages and their bodies being divided into a median and 2 lateral lobes by 2 prominent longitudinal furrows. Examples of trilobitas are Triarthus and Dalmanites, giving rise to the trilobitas name. Subphylum Chelocerata includes spiders, horseshoe crabs, and scorpions. It is characterized by an anterior 3-parted cephalothorax that bears 6 pairs of appendages, with the first pair, the Chelicerae, modified for feeding. The posterior 13-segmented abdomen or opisthosoma is further divided into the mesosoma and metasoma. These animals have a unique exoskeleton, jointed appendages, and striated muscles that allow them to move efficiently in their environment. Animals belonging to the Animalia phylum Arthropoda, subphylum Chelocerata, possess exceptional characteristics which separate them from others in the animal kingdom. These traits include the absence of antennae and mandibles, as well as respiratory organs such as book gills, book lungs, and trachea. Chelocerata is divided into 2 classes: Xiphosaura and Arachnida. By observing these animals, we gain an understanding of the variety found in the animal kingdom and admire their remarkable adaptations. Arthropoda is a phylum of animals that includes Insecta, the largest class of animals. These animals are identified by their hard exoskeletons, jointed appendages, striated muscles, and hemocoel. One of the most interesting groups within Arthropoda are the 3 existing genera. These species are mainly aquatic animals, with a prosoma, the front part of their body, protected by a flat horseshoe-shaped carapace, and a pair of Chelicerae, pincers. The prosoma is supported by 4 pairs of walking legs and 1 pair of pusher legs. The metasoma, the back part of their body, finishes with a telson, and the trilobite larva is visible in Limulus. Its mesosomal appendages, those in between the prosoma and metasoma, are 6 pairs. The first pair is fused to form a genital operculum, while the other 5 pairs of appendages have been modified into book gills. Limulus, the living fossil also known as king crab, is an excellent representative of this class. Arachnida, a class of the Animalia phylum Arthropoda, includes spiders and scorpions. Arachnids have a unique body structure, with a prosomal region composed of 4 pairs of appendages featuring a pair of chelicerae. Their mesosomal region has 4 pairs of walking legs and 1 pair of pedipalps, while their 4 pairs of abdominal appendages are turned into spinnerets in spiders. Separating them from other arthropods, arachnids are primarily terrestrial creatures. Arthropods have 2 primary systems for respiration and excretion. The respiratory pigment hemocyanin, which is a copper-containing pigment that helps regulate oxygen intake, and 2 excretory organs called the Malpighian tubules and coxal glands. Examples of arthropods include scorpions such as Palomnius, spiders such as Araenia, and Sarcoptes ichmites. Certain species of spiders, namely those with book lungs, use trachea, while other species of spiders possess the ability to use either or both. Scorpions are particularly unique among arthropods in that they have direct development, meaning their offspring emerge as live births. Xiphosaura and Arachnida are the 2 most noteworthy groups of the phylum Arthropoda. Xiphosaura are mainly marine creatures, their prosoma, head, covered by a hard, horseshoe-shaped carapace. They employ bronchial respiration and have a pair of chelicerae and 4 pairs of walking legs. On the other hand, the arachnids are terrestrial creatures with pulmonary respiration. Their prosoma is likewise covered by a carapace, with a single pair of chelicerae, a pair of pedipalpi and 4 legs, one called the pusher leg. Both of these classes of animals are found both extinct and extant. Xiphosaura from the Animalia kingdom are recognized for their elongated bodies, hard shells or exoskeletons, and 5 pairs of appendages. In contrast, Arachnida have 8 jointed appendages, of which the first pair are fused to form the genital operculum. Additionally, all arachnid species have book lungs located in their mesosoma as well as 4 pairs of posterior appendages that are modified into spinnerets in spiders. Xiphosaura and Arachnida are 2 diverse and fascinating classes of animals. Xiphosaura, also known as horseshoe crabs, have remained largely unchanged for over 450 million years. They have a hard, leathery carapace or shell, jointed appendages, and 5 pairs of eyes. Arachnida, such as scorpions and spiders, have a chitinous exoskeleton, various respiratory organs including book lungs or tracheae, and a unique respiratory pigment called hemocyanin. Scorpions are viviparous, while some species have direct development. Excretion in these classes is handled via Malpighian tubules and coxal glands. Examining Xiphosaura and Arachnida offers us insights into adaptation and evolution, and unveils a wealth of information about these species. Xiphosaura, commonly known as horseshoe crabs, belongs to the Arthropoda phylum. Their exoskeletons are hard and chitinous and they possess a long, spiny tail. They are well known for their hemocoelic circulation system that allows them to move and breathe. The Arachnida class includes the king crab, scorpion, spider, and ichmite, which all share the common features of a chitinous exoskeleton, jointed appendages, and striated muscles. This demonstrates the diversity within the Animalia phylum Arthropoda, with its unique set of characteristics. Subphylum Mandibulata consists of 4 classes: Crustacea, Chilopoda, Diplopoda, and Insecta. These organisms have bodies divided into 2 or 3 sections, a cephalothorax and abdomen, or a head, thorax, and abdomen, with antennae and mandibles located on the head, along with maxillae. Respiratory organs may be gills or tracheae. This depends on the species. This subphylum is made up of a mixture of aquatic and terrestrial species, and is an important part of the Arthropoda family. Crustaceans are the biggest mobs of arthropods in the Animalia phylum Arthropoda, unmatched because of the fusion of the head and thorax, which is clad by a chitinous carapace. The head is formed by 2 pairs of antennae, a pair of mandibles, and 2 pairs of maxillae. Crabs and lobsters have an exoskeleton reinforced by calcium carbonate, which makes them tougher and more competent in defending themselves in the wild. Crustacea belong to the Animalia phylum Arthropoda and are characterized by having a chitinous exoskeleton, jointed appendages, striated muscles and a hemocoel. They are typically aquatic animals with indirect development and multiple larval forms. In terms of organs, Crustacea have green and antennary glands as excretory organs, antennae, compound eyes and statocysts as sense organs, and biramus thoracic and abdominal appendages. Arthropods belong to the Animalia phylum and comprise a diversity of creatures, from crabs and prawns to barnacles and water fleas. Examples of arthropods are Palaemon, a freshwater prawn; Cancer, a crab; Balanus, a rock barnacle; Saculina, a root-headed barnacle; Asticus, a crayfish; and Daphnia, a water flea. They possess a hard exterior shell, jointed body parts, striated muscles, and a hemocoel, which is an internal cavity. Chilopoda is a class within the Animalia phylum Arthropoda, consisting of centipedes, commonly referred to as hundred-leggers. These organisms are terrestrial, breathe oxygen, and are carnivorous. The body of a chilopoda is divided into 2 sections: head and trunk. Each segment of the trunk has a pair of appendages, while the first pair bears venomous claws. These claws are deployed for subduing their prey prior to consumption. Scolopendra and Scutigera are 2 species of arthropods which have adapted respiration through trachea and excretion through malphigian tubules. Both species share the common features of an exoskeleton, jointed appendages, and striated muscles which enable them to carry out their day-to-day activities such as foraging and protecting their young. This is made possible through their specialized organs which are unique to the Animalia phylum of Arthropoda. Diplopoda is part of the Arthropoda phylum in the Animalia kingdom. Insecta is the largest class of this phylum, which includes animals having a chitinous exoskeleton, jointed appendages, striated muscles, and a hemocoel. Diplopoda, on the other hand, consists of millipedes, also known as thousand-leggers. All members of this class are terrestrial, air-breathing, and feed on decaying plant material. The body of these animals is divided into the head and the trunk. This slide has given an overview of the class Diplopoda. Insects possess a respiratory system referred to as tracheae that are basically tubes that transport oxygen through the body. The head, 1 pair of antennae and 2 pairs of maxillae make up the insect's first 3 segments. In some cases, the maxillae are altered into the nathohalarium, which is then used for pre-chewing and grinding food. The 4th segment consists of a single pair of mandibles that are in charge of chewing and manipulating objects. All the remaining body segments contain 2 pairs of legs which are jointed and allow for movement. In the Animalia phylum Arthropoda, Insecta is the largest class. It consists of animals that have a chitinous exoskeleton, jointed appendages, striated muscles, and a hemocoel. Spirostreptus and Julis are 2 examples of insects that use malpighian tubules, located in the hindgut, for excretion. These tubules serve the purpose of collecting nitrogenous wastes from the hemolymph fluid and breaking them down into uric acid droplets, which are later excreted. This process is paramount for eliminating waste and maintaining the insect's internal environment. Insecta is the largest group of animals on Earth, possessing a body divided into 3 parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. They are notably absent from the marine habitat. The head region of Insecta contains paired compound eyes, paired mandibles, paired antennae, paired maxillae, and a single labium. This specific combination of features allows Insecta to move quickly and adapt to different environments. Arthropods have a thorax that consists of 3 segments, each of which has a pair of jointed legs in most Insecta. Hexapoda is a group within the Insecta class that has 3 pairs of legs due to this arrangement. Some species, such as Lepisma, do not possess wings, and they are referred to as apterygoda. Insects have an extremely efficient respiratory system, in which oxygen is taken in through tracheae, a network of tubes located throughout the body. This oxygen then diffuses directly into the cells, thus making respiration efficient. Excretion of nitrogenous waste is handled by the Malpighian tubules, which are uricotelic, meaning they excrete uric acid crystals instead of liquids, as a way of conserving water. Examples of arthropods displaying this trait are the Periplanata cockroach, the muscahouse fly and the Lepisma silverfish. Development in these insects occurs indirectly, as they go through larval stages and metamorphosis to become adults.